Regarding Poland and the, let me say, the current challenges as far as leadership is concerned, I think that firstly we should look at the historical issue and cultural issue of our system of education. We see that the system is under the constant change with different demands from the 19th previous century. Our school leadership, our teachers, they are forced every 4 years to change the style of work. There are new expectations towards them, because when we have new government, there are new expectations. However, what we have done from the, as I said, from the 90s, we tried to decentralize system, and now it is the system with a high autonomy of teachers. However, when we look at the school principals, we can see that they have sometimes less autonomy than teachers they have. The system, like in Sweden, is steered by goals and learning outcomes. It is the system when we have the free choice of schools. Sometimes we can say that money follow students, and the changes that we observe in the system, the changes now are huge because of the COVID pandemic time. These changes demand innovation from teachers, from school principals. They demand creativity at the different level of the system. And the time what we have now even more strongly show us the need for the strong leadership in Poland. When we look at the school principal and the demands, expectations that are put on them, we see that it is a very complex role with full of different expectations. Our school principals that expect to have a kind of, we can say, syncretic role. It means that at the same time they should work like administrators. On the other hand, they should be very good school leaders, and they should be managers. The main task of our principal is managing school activities and representing the school externally. They should perform pedagogic supervision, support teachers' development. They should look after pupils, provide background for the harmonic psychological and physical development of our students. They should organize and implement the test and examination in school, manage the school budget, and so on. I can, let me say, enumerate different tasks that are on the list of the expectation of our school principal. So you can imagine how hard is to be school principal in Poland. Probably in other countries we have similar situations. Our school principals, they come mainly from teachers, and when we look at the teachers as a profession in Poland, what is interesting, teachers are one of the best educated professional groups in our country. They are representatives of the profession of public trust. They constitute around 2% of the entire population of Polish people. And teachers, usually they have the education with the master degree. Almost 98% of Polish teachers, they have this master degree. Also, they have the doctorate, and in Poland, like in Germany, still we have the habilitation, which is interesting that Polish teachers also, they some of them, they have this title, academic title. And on the other hand, because this is very positive regarding the system, but when we look more deeply into the system, we can observe that the system is dominated mainly by women, because we have around 82% of women, and it has impact on the school, on school principals as well. And what is interesting at the system, that even though majority of women that are in the system, when we look at the school principals, especially at the secondary level, we can notice that majority are men. I think it's very interesting finding in our system. The system, when we look at the teachers can be defined in one sentence. It is a high qualified profession with high prestige. However, it is the profession with low socioeconomic status in Poland. It means that the salary of our teachers, school principals, are relatively very low when we look at the different professions, which it's not good sign regarding the complex situation we have now at the schools. We also observe that teaching profession is aging profession, and this year, it is one of the first year in our history when we see the lack of teachers at the school. Some of the teachers, they make the decision to leave the profession. On the other hand, the COVID time require more teachers at the school. For instance, it's quite interesting, Warsaw as a city sent out the message to every university, to academic, to ask us to help to teach at the school, because they are afraid that they will have the problem of organizing the school year. What we see as academics regarding school leadership and the education system in Poland, what is important and what are the assumptions as far as the system is concerned. So firstly, the system pays attention on such things like strong teacher ethos and professionalism. It is the history, as I said, teaching in the profession usually was the profession with a call. It was about the dedication. So we can observe that even though the profession is not attractive from economic side, still lots of young people, they choose the profession. And also they aspire to be school leaders because of the values. The child should be put in the center of the attention. It is the profession, and also teacher education is organized in this way that it should be research-based education. It means that every Polish teacher should prepare empirical research diploma, work at the university, especially those who are at the master degree. We expect from our teachers and school principal deep understanding of our learners and the process of learning. Now we put a lot of attention to the issue of high social emotional teacher competences and technology enhanced. So I would say that there are the expectations regarding the system of education, teachers, teaching profession, school leadership. But COVID time, it is the time of the crisis, and it discover a part of a lot of these high ambitious assumption, some weaknesses, and this time show us that we really have to pay attention to the intentional leadership at the different level at the schools, because we see that it is important to motivate people to work as much as they can at the school, to work on their emotions, to show them the value of their work, especially, as I mentioned, when we look at this socioeconomic issue and the health issue of the system, it is very important. So as an academic, we see that we need today quality teachers, quality teacher education, and we should work towards students' well-being and successful learning. And in our team, we said that one of the key issues for having this, it is systemic approach, and within the system, it means that school education, teacher education should ask for the interactive relationship between the policy, research, and practice. We should build the capacity for the school leadership and teacher education for synergy within the system. So I will stop at this moment because I didn't have this possibility to show the presentation, but I hope that I present to some extent the characteristic of our system and the let me say the basis for the school leadership. If you will have any question, I can respond. Thank you very much for having this opportunity to present our findings.